Hello, the cat's Pawd.
Welcome to the Cats Pod.
What's up, Podcats? We are back at it again after a short hiatus. Life gets busy, but we are back in the chair. Eric is back in the man cave. How you feeling today, Eric?
Oh, pretty good, man. Another good weekend. Kind of showed Cal Poly who was boss. That was always good to see. The defense looks amazing as usual. I mean, we're kind of becoming a broken record here.
Mm-hmm.
Coltrane Taylor got a pick. That was pretty cool.
Definitely threw on that hat and almost jumped up into the seats.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's more of a surprise if another team scores than if they just didn't score at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of getting so used to the defense being so good that when somebody does score, as rare as it is, it's kind of a big shock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost a shock
this
when they
last
get first
game
down.
Yeah. I mean, even positive yards is a bit of a surprise at times.
Yeah.
But I watched the whole game, and Julius Davis is back
All the way.
We've been saying he's back every week, but he is back. A career high rushing yards. That was pretty cool, dude. He was running with some passion.
Mm-hmm. And he came out with that fire in his belly because
Yeah.
I feel like it might not have been his first run, but it felt like it was his first run and he hurdled over a dude. I was like, he came out looking for blood in this game. He did not mess around whatsoever. He just went for it right off the bat.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal. We had another leap, another hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
That's just becoming a every game occurrence now instead of, once every 3 years. I mean, we might as well just call him Julius Saquon Davis at this point.
Might as well go
because he's definitely that's what we're getting to watch. And I mean, it's nice to see, the offensive line is gelling really well right now. I mean, I would say the offense maybe had some bye week blues, but they still kind of made Cal Poly, I want to say a specific word, but they made Cal Poly look bad. How about that?
They made him look bad. Yeah, and that's just the long and short of it is right there. They took a Cal Poly team that was looking like they were pretty decent throughout the season. They've played some really good games, played the Grizz close for 3 quarters, have won some games this season, and they made them look not good. Not good in a lot of ways. And like you said, first half was a little iffy for the offense, but then they got back in their rhythm, and it was same old. And I feel like we're getting just very spoiled at this point in the season where we're having a hard time talking about it or getting excited for each game because there's just no argument to be made for these other teams that the Cats are going up against until the UC Davis game. There's not a whole lot you can make out of it.
No, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, when you're looking at these spreads and everything, I mean, I know they didn't cover the spread against Cal Poly, but I mean, they were covering for a long time.
Yeah.
Up until, the fourth quarter, kind of let the gas off, put some guys in, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Cal Poly isn't a bad team either. It's kind of like Idaho State, They go in, they have an impressive outing against the Grizzlies, and then the Cats come in and just obliterate them.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we're seeing. And it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, the Cal Poly is good. They got some really talented players. I mean, but there's just such a gap. We've talked about it all season long where there's just a gap between, and like the Missouri Valley, Big Sky, there's, us, and then there's them. And there's a pretty big gap in between, and the games are not close. I love stress-free. It's fun.
It is
Nice.
a lot of fun. And correct me if
But
I'm wrong, but I feel like Cal Poly's strength throughout the early season has been their running game, right?
yeah,
Like they've had a pretty solid running game throughout the season. Their leading rusher last week had 21 yards.
yeah.
That's how crazy the D line for the Cats is. Like they shut
I mean,
down everything.
it's just so hard to play against them when they're all on the, clicking on and running on full strength. They're, trying to compete with that depth and just the range of these guys. I mean, they're just it's just a well coached football team, all three phases of the game. I think the offense is, it just continues to get better. I mean, we coming off the bye week, I think it was I don't want to say a lull because Julius was on fire, but it wasn't like the 2 weeks ago game where Justin Lamson just balls out.
Yeah.
He played well.
Yeah.
But it was just a bit of a quieter game, and I'm at the point where I'm expecting big things.
Yeah. This team
I think we're there.
Very good. They look very
now
well put together.
Should we get to the negatives?
Sure.
From last weekend. South Dakota State has to go get blown out, which bumps the Grizzlies up and makes them more than insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
They are unhinged right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they are chirping so loud on social media, it's insane. Off of another lackluster performance against Sac State, where their defense showed that there's nothing but holes.
Yeah. And they just get lucky. They just keep getting lucky over and over again. And they have these crazy plays happen in their games. The ball seems to always bounce toward them. I don't know what the deal is, but it was tough to start off the weekend with that game.
It was. I had to turn it off. It was that bad to watch. After the Sac State muffed that punt, and don't get me wrong, in this game, I was rooting for an earthquake just to shut it down. No contest. But when Sac State muffed that punt, it was just like, oh, you gotta be. How do you do that?
There was
absolutely no reason to do that. Yeah. I mean, there's never a reason, but I mean, just take your yards, man. Come on. But once that happened, I mean, it was just downhill. And then you have the Big Sky Conference finding Brendan Marion.
Yeah.
I mean, after all the hate back and forth between Montana and Sauk State, and then the Sauk State coach gets fined. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up anymore, man. It's just kind of insanity.
It's a joke. To Coach Marion's defense, I did look up the stat line that was posted, of course, by Sac State themselves. Like their own internal media posted exactly how many penalties have happened. And when you look at just the pure data of it, it looks pretty fishy. They have 72 penalties on the season. The next closest team has 51. And when you look at the chart, everybody's like 4 or 5 away from each other, like you would expect. It's all distributed evenly. And then all of a sudden you got this outlier of Sac State. And it's like, you could tell me that they commit a lot of penalties and they could be a sloppier team because they've played together for 8 games now. They all met each other a couple months ago. So they were going to commit a lot of penalties, but that level of penalties definitely raises an eyebrow for me. Like they might have something here. They might be onto something.
Okay, so where do the Grizzlies fall in to your ranking or your statistics?
They're the third least penalized team. There is Northern Colorado's the least penalized, then Weber State, then Montana. And
do you think Weber State is so least penalized because they never have the football in their hands?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get penalized on just like people scoring a 70-yard touchdown every single play. And when you only have 3 plays on offense, it's hard to get a penalty there as well.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Weaver's just out here catching strays all the time.
Yeah. Well, when you lose to Eastern Washington, you kind of got to catch some strays, especially this year's Eastern Washington. You can't lose to that team.
If it looks like a turd and it smells like a turd, it's probably a turd, right?
It might be a Wildcat.
Yeah.
It just might be. Yeah.
Boy, yeah, we maybe need to title this episode Ben and Eric dump on Weber State for literally no reason at all.
Weber State's the new Sac State. That's what it is. It was just a tough weekend of football to watch, except for the Cats played great, which is always fun to watch. But the rest of the schedule was really hard to watch. Like you said, South Dakota State getting thumped like that it took a lot of the wind out of my sails, because I'm like, the North Dakota State just looks like Ivan Drago. Somebody's got to make this man bleed at some point so we can prove that he's human.
Yeah.
And the only positive we have in this metaphor is that Rocky wins in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
Which is what
I will say, I don't like to make a ton of excuses for anybody that isn't the Bobcats.
Yeah.
But when you don't have Chase Mason and Lofton Ogroski goes out and they were missing their best player on defense, I mean, that would essentially be us playing a game without Taco, Justin Lamson, and Paul Brott. Like, it just gets really freaking hard at that point, especially going up against North Dakota State.
Who looks like a juggernaut right now. It's unbearable. It's a tough FCS season for us. We got Michael Wortham looking like one of the best players in the country on one end, and then we have the quarterback for North Dakota State that I cannot believe his name is slipping my mind right now. What is that guy's name?
Cole Payton.
Cole Payton is looking like a different type of dude as well. And it's like, somebody's got to stop these guys. Somebody's got to do something.
I mean, it's really interesting. And, you hate to look forward too much to, rankings and whatnot. But when you really start kind of breaking this down on how things can go now that we're, this close to Cat Grizz.
Yeah.
We have to play number 7 UC Davis in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a top 10 win to go along with our number 13 Northern Arizona win, who continues to win football games.
Yeah.
So that number 13 is looking a little more, realistic for what they probably are.
Definitely.
And then the following week we go play number 3. So if we go into the end of the season with wins over, UC Davis, Northern Arizona, and Montana, it would be really hard to put us anywhere other than number 2.
Yeah.
They'd have to be willing to actually look at, strength of schedule and quality wins, because Tarleton will have to hang their hat literally on their one FBS win.
Yeah. That's pretty much all they got going for them. It's just tough. It's tough to see them, even though South Dakota State had such a bad loss, it's tough to see them putting us ahead of South Dakota State in that situation.
The only reason I think they might is because the last game of the season, South Dakota State has to go to UND.
Yeah.
And I do think that if South Dakota State doesn't get fully healthy, I don't think they can beat UND in Grand Forks. And the only reason I think we stay ahead of UND at that point is because UND has a loss to Montana, which we would have beat them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to, roll the correct direction and everything. So, but I do see a real, and I do think they're going to want to keep, if the Bobcats win out, they're going to want to keep North Dakota State and Montana State on opposite sides of the bracket.
Yeah.
I don't see them putting them on the same side just because, you do want the 2 best teams to end up in Nashville.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of keep them separate. But boy, we are really getting ahead of ourselves here, aren't we?
Very much getting ahead of ourselves. We need to really
Why do you let me go off on tangents like
we
this?
need to channel our inner Coach Vegan and just think about next week. But it's really
Wanna know.
hard not to think about the rest of the season at this point because of just the games that we're playing right now. I also think that the Cats are severely underrated on
They
a
are.
national scale. They are not getting any respect. No, it doesn't sound like anybody. I'm not hearing a lot of talk. The Cat fans aren't talking that much, and I don't think that that's a bad sign. I think that we've gotten so used to the recent success that we're just business as usual right now until it gets to the late season playoffs, that kind of type of year. But
Yeah, no, you're right. And the thing is like if as a Cat fan, if you say anything on social media, you have 15 Grizzly fans jumping down your throat.
yeah, that also happens.
They're completely insufferable currently because they think that they're really good, which I do think their offense can go out and score with them, but it's just eerily similar to the Rob Ash days.
Yeah.
You might score 62 points, but you're going to lose by 1.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
It's just, you can't just run and gun every team all year long. It's just it's not going to work out eventually. Somebody's going to get you.
The old triple bypass Grizzlies, giving all kinds of heart attacks this season. Just making their fans freak out every single game, but then they end up winning, and then all of a sudden they forget about all the bad play that happened during the game. I wish I had that kind of memory. That's one thing you got to hand to the Grizz fans. They are a bunch of goldfish because they forget about all the mistakes and all the warts that this team has real fast. Like as soon as the clock hits 0, all of a sudden they're the 93 Dallas Cowboys or something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I said it before this season even started. I would rather be mediocre with a team full of Montana kids than great with nobody but out of state.
Yeah. And
I love our out of state guys,
but that, we're great with a bunch of Montana guys.
I love our out of state players and our transfers and wherever they happen to come from. Mm-hmm. But I do there's just something special about having a bunch of Montana kids to root for when you're from the state of Montana, of course.
Yeah. It definitely adds a little bit of juice to every game, and it's just nice to see when we got the entire tight end crew and Taco and just a bunch of guys, Adam Jones, and these are major contributors.
Caden Dowler, Cole Taylor,
hours away.
Paul Brott.
Yeah.
Kenny
the list goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to watch your Montana boys compete and do well in your hometown school, but besides the point, should we start talking about football again?
Yeah, we might as well start talking about football. Hopping into week 10.
Yeah, you keep letting me go down these dang roads, Ben. You're supposed to stop me from these tangents.
It's tough these days.
So we do have a Friday night game.
We do.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
An ESPN game against Idaho and Northern Arizona. What kind of numbers do you think that'll do?
I don't think a national scale really cares about that game too much. But it's hard to say that any FCS team really moves the needle that much on a national scale. I mean, there's Bobcat fans everywhere. There's North Dakota State fans everywhere. So those games always do some numbers, but I don't know. I just don't see a big rating on this one, even though it probably is the best matchup of the week.
Yeah. The only saving grace is it might be the only football game on.
Yeah, they do have that going for them.
I don't know who else plays, but it might be the only thing for somebody to watch, so they may get a boost that way. But I would say it probably is the most intriguing matchup, honestly. I mean, Idaho's still kind of gelling and mixing and matching and kind of trying to find their way, and Northern Arizona's they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
So tough to say what this game's going to bring, though. Honestly,
I mean, last week Idaho handled business against Portland State. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they blew them out by a lot. But like you said earlier, Northern Arizona just keeps winning games and keeps looking better and better. And this is the kind of game where I feel like I need to root for the Lumberjacks just to make the Bobcats win over them look better and better as the season goes on.
yeah,
'Cause that's
and
super helpful for us.
It makes that win from the Grizzlies over Idaho look worse too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a win-win if Northern Arizona pulls this thing off against Idaho. But Idaho has very talented players. It's just whether or not those guys are going to show up on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, I mean they are starting to get a little healthier too, which I think will help. I think they will be a little bit better than some of the teams we've seen the past few weeks come out for Idaho. But I mean, Northern Arizona isn't a bad team though.
Oh, by no means.
I'd say they're above average in the Big Sky. They have a really good quarterback. Wide receiver room is talented. Running backs are good. So, I mean, I think my money would lie with Northern Arizona personally.
Yeah. Even with the bias, I feel like Northern Arizona has a really good chance in this game. The quarterback matchup in this one is fun. Like I think this will be a great watch just to watch two good quarterbacks go back to back. And I might be an idiot to say this, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
There very well could be.
Yeah.
I think they could kind of duke it out here on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Two dome teams playing against each other.
Yeah. Are you going Northern Arizona?
I feel like I have to. I feel like I got it. I cannot cheer for the Vandals, especially after the last few years.
Yeah.
The last few years have been rough. And they've taken a lot of Montana State players and recruits and gotten them to go over to Idaho for some reason. And I just don't like it. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I hear you. Next up, we have Sauk State at Eastern Washington.
That's a tough game to root for either way. Eastern Washington got their win last week. So they're playing their best football of the season so far.
I mean, I personally watched Eastern Washington with my own eyes in the stadium. They are bad.
Yeah.
They're not a good football team. The fact that they beat Weber State is astonishing. I think that says more about Weber State than it does Eastern Washington. But if Sauk State can't blow Eastern Washington out, I feel like that's a loss.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to say, but it feels like anything under a 3-score win is a loss for Sac State at this point, just because they do have some very talented players. Like we watched some of the Montana Sac State game together, and those dudes can fly on Sac State. There is some speed on that team, and it just feels like they should be doing a lot better than they are. And I don't know where that consistency comes from. And maybe the refs have something to do with it, but it's tough to believe in Sac State at this point, and it feels like they need to have a get-right game, and they need at least a 3-score win against Eastern Washington to give themselves some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lose to bad football teams, and you definitely can't barely beat them either.
No.
Eastern Washington is a bad football team, and if you think that you're good at all, you got to roll them.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to blow them out by 28 points, but I mean, they probably need to win by 17.
Mm-hmm. I guess if it was a 2-touchdown game and they were fully in control the entire time, that's a respectable win in this game.
Probably.
If it's never really close and they end up winning by 2 scores, like you could call that a good day for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I refuse to pick this game because I hate Sac State and I'm not going to pick them. So and
you can't pick Eastern Washington either. I'm absconding myself due to conflict.
Yeah. I've never done that before, so this is a first.
And Sac State has to win this game, and they're coming back with a vengeance after the fine, after everything that went on last week. They are definitely going to win this game against Eastern Washington. I have to believe that.
Yeah. It would be a shock if they don't. A total shock.
Super shocking.
Next up, Idaho State at Davis.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that Idaho State would be better. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. You know, after watching that Grizz game, I really thought that they were going to be better this year. Those wide receivers looked so freaking good.
Yeah.
That I was just sure that they had finally rounded a corner, and they suck again.
Yeah.
They got blown out by Northern Arizona last week. That's not a good. I mean, not that Northern Arizona is a bad team, but I thought that these two would be a bit of a closer matchup. I guess it wasn't a total blowout. I mean, it was 13 points, but I mean, I don't know, man. I thought that I just thought they were better than that.
Yeah. They've had a tough run throughout this entire season, and we were both pretty high on Idaho State going into this season, so it's definitely been a disappointment and a bit of surprise the way they've played, because they've only beat Lincoln and Northern Colorado this season.
It does look like, well, I don't know. They have that Nunnally and that Shulikov. Those are two extremely good players.
Yeah.
And, just what they did early in the year, they're not doing it. They didn't do it last week. Let's put it that way.
No.
And maybe that's that Jordan Cook. Maybe he's not cooking quite as much as he used to be.
Yeah.
But I expected more out of Idaho State. It's a bit of if you can't tell, I'm a bit disappointed in them.
Yeah. It's tough, and they've had some tough losses throughout the season. The way they lost to Montana was really tough. Losing to UNLV by one score. They've played really solid games, and so they've given us a lot of reasons to keep believing in them, but they haven't showed the level. They were super scrappy last year. They just showed a lot of heart. There wasn't a ton of talent on the field. I shouldn't say that, because I don't know these guys that well. I don't watch a ton of Idaho State games, but it didn't feel like there was a ton of talent out there. It just felt like it was a very well put together, very well coached team. And so the way we were thinking about this season is they come in, these guys like Shulikov have really opened up and shown that they're super talented players, and so we thought that was going to translate into wins, and it just has not.
No. Moral of the story, Davis is probably going to go punch him in the mouth pretty good here, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think UC Davis is going to play around much in this game. I think they are going to handle business, and they're a program, and I've said it way too many times, but they are on that same trajectory as the Cats were 5-6 years ago, to where they could be a very, very good program as long as they stay on this same path, keep this coaching staff that's doing so well for them, and they got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think Davis isn't one of those schools that's going to go out there and boat race another team. They're usually somewhere in that 18 to 20 point wins, and I would be shocked if they don't win by that.
Yeah, they're probably going to have a pretty significant win this week.
Yeah, plus, that quarterback of theirs is just getting better as the season goes along too. He's a freshman, still learning a lot, and as he gets older, he's going to be pretty dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, UC Davis comfortably for me.
Yeah, that seems safe.
Next up, we are not going to spend much time on this. 0-8 Portland State headed to Cal Poly. This is an easy one. Cal Poly's going to beat the tar out of Portland State as they should. Cal
Poly's going to be so angry after the game that they played last week. And it's going to feel so easy for them especially for those running backs and for their offensive line. It's going to feel night and day for them, and they're going to feel like they can do whatever they want against Portland State.
I mean, Portland State has to be ready just to be done with the season. They got to be ready just to quit.
Yeah, you hate to say it, but I've coached teams where I know the feeling. I'll just put it that way. It's like, let's just get through these last few games and try and do something positive.
I mean, just listen to their Portland State's last 5 games. They lost 45-6 last week. They lost 43-27 at Weber State, who just got beat by Eastern Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 35-27 against Eastern Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 31-17 at NAU and 23-3 at Hawaii. I mean, they're just not good.
It's tough.
Not good.
Not a whole lot to say about it. Just not great.
You picking Cal Poly?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's go Stangs.
Go Stangs. Grizz of Weber State headed down to Ogden.
Grizz and Weber State. What a game.
We know the Grizz defense doesn't travel well, but if they don't mop the floor with Weber State, this is not a good look. Weber State's terrible.
Yeah. They pulled it off last
year. They're a bad
year.
team.
They pulled it off last year. That's all I'm saying.
They did.
They pulled it off.
They did.
They did pull it
off. In Washington Grizzly.
In Washington.
They went to Missoula.
They're at home now. I don't know.
Yeah, they got pizza thrown at them.
Yeah, that's about as much as I can play the character that thinks that Weber State is going to win this game. It's just gonna add more fuel to the fire for the Grizz fans. I have a feeling this is the game where the Grizz actually do just blow out a Big Sky team. I think that's gonna happen this week. They're gonna murder Weber State, and then the fans are gonna be even worse to deal with next week. Even worse. See, I'm itching. I'm allergic to this.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let a team like Weber State hang with you. You just can't. I mean, I'm looking at Weber State's last 5 games, and they lost to Eastern Washington, beat Portland State, lost to Sac State big, lost to UC Davis, and beat Butler by a few.
Yeah.
Butler isn't very good.
Must not be.
I mean, this is just an uninspiring resume. They don't have just a lot going on the offensive side of their quarterback has thrown for 690 yards this season.
Mm-hmm.
Just nothing to really inspire a ton of confidence in Weber State, unfortunately.
It's not an exciting year for Weber State. Not an exciting week. In the Big Sky in general. To be real honest, these games don't really do it for me.
No, there's unfortunately there's just not much going on.
No.
I mean, you want to make something out of this Idaho at Northern Arizona game.
Yeah.
But it's still not. I mean, it's Halloween. Who's actually going to be watching it?
And neither one of those teams really moved the needle as far as I don't think either of us really believe they are going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Idaho or Northern Arizona. I possibly, if Northern Arizona wins out the rest of their season and keeps playing well, I could see them getting a playoff bid. But it seems like the gap between Northern Arizona and the Montana schools is too big to overlook. And they don't really have any kind of... They don't pose any kind of actual threat on a national scale.
I agree. Yeah, it's... I don't know, man. It is a tough week, and I mean, we might as well start talking about the only game that actually truly matters this week.
Yeah.
Would you like to take it off on a monologue here, Ben?
My heart is torn this week. My heart is absolutely torn about 5% for Northern Colorado and 95% for the Bobcats. Just pulling up this game, I don't think the Cats are going to have much trouble with this Northern Colorado team, but that does not mean that Northern Colorado is a team to be overlooked. As a fan, I can overlook them. As a team, they should definitely be paying attention. Because when you look at just the simple stat lines for their leaders on this team, they put up some numbers. And they have played some very good games throughout this season. They have won some surprising games. They have played the way that we expected Idaho State to be playing this year. And we did not see it coming whatsoever. Northern Colorado's quarterback has over 2,000 yards already.
Yeah, that is impressive.
8 interceptions is not as impressive, but he puts up a lot of yards. He can chuck the ball. He must be a gunslinger, Mr. Gordon Jr., just slinging the ball all over the field. And that's something you got to watch out for. Now, that being said, the Cats' secondary is very good. So it's not like Northern Colorado is going to be able to do whatever they want. It's not like their quarterback's going to be able to throw wherever they want. I think they're going to make a quarterback that puts up a lot of numbers, look very pedestrian, similar to the Northern Arizona game and what they did to Pennington. I think that it's going to be a very tough game for this Northern Colorado team. And once again, the Cats are just going to show how big the gap is between them and the rest of the conference.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, it's Northern Colorado puts up some numbers, but they're always playing from behind.
Yeah.
They're you know, the Idaho game that they won, that was a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, numbers are going to be inflated somewhat. I mean, he does have, almost 70 more pass attempts than Lamson does.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. It's kind of, to me, this game's going to come down to don't overlook somebody just because they're always a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And just go about your business as usual. Because if they go about their business as usual, there shouldn't be a problem here. I mean, Cal Poly's a better team than Northern Colorado.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the year, but I am saying that now, and they handled them with ease.
Yeah.
So Northern Colorado shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Northern Colorado, as much as I want to try and find something to be excited about this game with, I don't really see it. There's nothing that really jumps off the page for me outside of those quarterback passing numbers, but those seem, like you said, hyperinflated by the type of games they were playing early in the season, and it doesn't look like they have much of a running game at all. So
no,
a lot of pass attempts, a lot of chances for them to make plays in the passing game, and the speed that the Cats have in the secondary and the poise, because we haven't seen a ton of penalties out of that secondary. Where we would see some penalties in previous seasons, and there was some head scratchers that would go on, but this year they're playing like a really well put together group, especially for a group that is pretty new to playing together. They haven't been together very long, and they play very, very well together.
Relatively young, and
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the Cats' game plan is for this game. I mean, is this one where they keep it on the ground, or maybe Lamson gets to show off the arm talent a little bit? I don't know. I would maybe guess they may air this one out a little bit.
It's possible.
Maybe get him some work through the passing game. Maybe I kind of hope maybe they pass a little bit more just so that he doesn't take very much damage, because he was taking some hits on some of those runs he was doing last week.
Oh, the Julius Davis tour is going to keep rolling. The train's going to keep rolling, and Julius is going to have a ton of yards in this game. And then when you have the 1-2 punch of him and Adam Jones, I think the only reason that they would have to throw a lot is if we see some stumbles in the running game, which after last week, I don't think it's going to happen.
I would agree with you. I mean, Cal Poly's defensive line is pretty big. Their linebackers are pretty athletic, but it didn't seem to matter. I don't know what Julius averaged, but if watching the game, it felt like it was 8 yards a carry. I mean, every time he touched the ball, he was getting 8 yards, if not more.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see Justin go out there and sling it around, have a maybe a little less use on his body in the running game.
Yeah, definitely.
As
And
he was
doesn't
taking
have
some,
to. You know?
yeah,
does
he was
not
taking
have
some
to.
licks.
Yeah.
I do think, looking at, like you were talking about Northern Colorado's running game, I do wonder if our defensive line doesn't feast a little bit because they throw the ball a lot.
Yeah. Could see a lot of sacks.
So, yeah, there's going to be opportunities for some sacks here, I think.
I'm going to go to the
So maybe we get to
start.
see a Caden Dowler sack celebration. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. That is always fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Caterday's coming, baby.
Another Catterday on the way, and I could not be more excited. I'm going to be heading up to Valier. I'm going to see everybody, Maybe get to watch part of this game together, which would be awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well,
there it is.
Anything else you want to tell the people before we let them go?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. What are you going to be for Halloween? Are you going to be a rancher like every other year?
No. This year, my daughter decided she was going to be Cruella de Vil, so I am a Dalmatian.
There you go. And everybody's going to be excited to see the pictures. I'm gonna have plenty of videos and pictures ready for the Cats Pod Nation. They're just waiting for it. I myself will be Fred Flintstone, which feels pretty fitting.
Yeah, I think the pictures and videos people are actually waiting for is Ben shotgunning for turnovers.
I'm just saying, Neil Daly, I'm right here. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm ready. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram and X at CatsPod. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube at The CatsPod. Rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. And everybody have a great end to your week. Looking forward to Halloween and another beautiful Catterday.
Adios.